पवनतनय संकटहरणं मंगलमूर्तिरूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूत। प्रेम से बोलो श्री हनुमान बाबा की
जय।
प्रेम से बोलो श्री राजा रामचंद्र की
जय।
First of all, devotees, I must say a special Sitaram warm welcome and a welcome to a brand new episode of Gyan Shakti, your power of knowledge for the week. I am Pundit Navin, and with me I have Pundit Hemant with me. And Pundit Hemant is a little bit under the weather this afternoon, but nevertheless, when it comes to Dharma, when it comes to doing the right part of where we belong, our culture, our identity, we always strive to be there. In a limited role, in a big role, it doesn't matter, because in life sometimes you have to take many different roles. This afternoon our program is going to be very special because we are going to be focused on that of Sri Hanuman Baba. And when you talk about Hanuman Baba, you talk about faith, you talk about power, you talk about strength, you talk about love, but most importantly you talk about devotion. Hemant, you know, the most important thing in puja that we can offer to God is our devotion.
Exactly.
Because devotion itself comes from within. Devotion is the format of creation that we bring within ourselves. Hanuman Baba exemplifies all of that, because he shows us in society about the power of strength. When you look at Hanumanji, you see a very, very strapped, robust man, right? You see a very powerful individual, but physically he shows us that power that he has with him, but his spiritual knowledge is as powerful as his body.
Exactly.
Because what in reality, what he's trying to show society is that Hanuman Baba represents that of security. The word fear does not exist to Hanumanji, and the reason why it doesn't exist because he's a very secure person. He has faith. He has faith in Sri Ram. He has faith in his devotion, and he has faith in God. That is why the Hindu culture, especially our religion, our dharma, will never die, because Hanumanji carries it. He is the faith of our culture. He is the voice of what we belong to and who we are. So this afternoon our katha will be based a little bit to explain the importance of Hanumanji as we celebrate Hanuman Jayanti, which will be celebrated this Thursday, April 25th, I believe it is. Yes. If I'm wrong on the date, I don't have my cell phone in front of me. Actually, let me just check that here. So today is the 23rd, so it's going to be on the 25th. Right? And Hanuman Jayanti ji is very auspicious because it is the day when Hanumanji took birth into this physical world, when he came into this universe and he began to teach us all a lesson in humanity. You know him, one of the greatest lessons we learn in life is from us, from each other, ourselves. Because inside us, this body is so powerful, it has all the elements, it has all these different things inside of it. But it has to be in the right places to awaken the Shaktis within the body. You have to be around the right people to awaken the Shaktis within this body. When we talk about devotion and we talk about Hanumanji, you're talking about an individual who has surpassed everything. Because he represents that of determination, and he represents the power of the mind. His focus, his sole focus has always been on Sri Ramji. About doing the right things, about creating the right differences in society to make a positive impact. Right? So to sum him up, he's a very, very special devata, because Hanumanji is none other than the 11th Shakti of Shankar Bhagwan. He is an incarnation of Lord Shiva. And he is also the son of Pavan Dev, which is why he is so powerful and he is so strong. It is said, devotees, if we were to go back into the origins of how Hanumanji came into this universe, we have to realize the power of where he came from. His mother was that of Anjani, and his father was that of Kesari Nandan. And his mother was a devotee of that great Lord. She would pray constantly to have a son, and she wanted a son who will always be devoted to that Lord and would be as strong as the wind. But dedication and devotion goes a long way. The lesson here is where he learnt, Hanumanji, where he learnt his devotion and dedication from his first teacher, his first guru, that of his mother. is to show you sometimes what we learn from our parents goes a long way in society today. And that is what makes us the individual he is. So Hanumanji devotees, it is said, if we were to go back last week, we spoke about it in the Ram Navami special. When Raja Dashrath had did that of his puja in order to invocate the right to have children into this universe, again Devata came and gave him a bowl of kheer. Raja Dashrath took that kheer, he divided it into half, he gave it one to Kaushalya Mata, one to Kekehi Mata, and they in turn cut it into two and gave it to Sumitra. While Kekehi was looking at her kheer before she consumed it, she began to think. She said, I am the favorite queen of the king. Why do I have to get this little bit? And at that time, a bird was flying in the sky, and the bird dropped down, take a little piece, and flew a little bit, and dropped it into Anjani's hand as she was doing her dedication to the Lord. After Anjani consumed it, a short while afterwards, she became pregnant with that of Hanumanji. And that is how Hanumanji took a physical form in this universe. Now when he came into this universe, he came with power. Right? He was a strong person. And in doing so, he began to create little things as time goes along. You know how little children are sometimes. They're very cute, they're very lovable, and Hanumanji had that ability to steal anybody's heart from them. Right? And there were little mischievous things he did as children would do, but these things are considered divine Shakti. When a child does something, a child is the most innocent person in the world because they are most closest to God. Before karma hits, before we get polluted with the things that exist in this universe today, right? A child is pure. So whatever the child does, he does it with a pure heart because he's unaware of what is going on. His mind is expecting him to grow, and he is just there carrying around like a little child, right? Expressing and experiencing the world in the best way he can. And it is said, there were different parts of Hanumanji. One important katha is that of the sun, something that happened between Hanumanji and the sun. Now there are different variations in it. I don't want to be controversial in that topic. What I will do is express a little bit of what happened. Okay? Now we are young pundits again, once again, no disrespect to any senior pundits out there who have made different views. We are just saying our point of view in it, because at the end of the day, a lot of what the lesson is what is important, and the lesson is what you take out of it. Okay? Now Hanumanji devotees, when he saw the sun, a nice bright shiny object, a young child, he wanted to go towards the sun. Right? He wanted to touch the sun. He wanted to, according to some books, our father would say to us that he expected it as a fruit, so he wanted to go towards it now to partake of the fruit. And as he was going towards it, all the devatas and so forth began to get scared, because they see this little monkey boy, this little child, going towards the sun. It is said at that time Indra thought it was best that he put a stop to it. And he struck Hanumanji a blow. And when Hanumanji fell to the universe, his father, Pawandev, got very angry. Because that was his son. He did not want to see his son hurt at the time. Right?
So true. Yeah.
So at that time there, it is said that he told all the devatas and so forth that because of what happened, he would stop.
Cease everything.
He would cease everything in this universe. The power and air in this universe, he would stop. Right? And can you imagine a universe without air? Nothing would grow. There would be no growth, no life or anything like that. And at that time, the devatas realized what was happening. Because in reality, Hanumanji was going towards the sun, but he was requesting the sun to be his guru. Right? All the devatas began to bless Hanumanji, and they began to bless him with many different attributes and powers. Right? And he began to get very powerful. And when he came back as a young child again, he began to play as a young child, because children in today's society, we want to learn to play. Unfortunately, in today's society, with the laptop and with the iPad and the iPods and the iPhones and computers and so forth, children don't get to experience these things again. But I could safely say I think me and Hemant are the last of our generation to get that opportunity. Actually go there and play cricket and have fun and have friends and so forth like that. Our children today don't get to have that. But Hanumanji always wanted to play because he was a young little child. He wanted to experience the the birth of life and so forth. And it is said he would go by the sadhu sometimes, and he would mischievously play with them. But sometimes adults, it can get a little too much. And one such sadhu actually gave a sarap, a curse to Hanumanji, and he told him, what's that? A Brahmin, to quote, I get the little help there from our senior Pundit, who's in the background, our producer. It is said that a Brahmin sadhu, Pandit, gave Hanumanji that curse, that he will forget his power. Right? He would need to be reminded of his power when he needs it the most. So Hanumanji devotees began to grow up in society in this world today. And from there he went to assist that of Sugriv. And that is where he would meet up back with Sri Ram, and where his importance will be played in the Ramayana. But Hanumanji devotees, like I said before, he represents so much in our society, in our culture, and who we are, what we are. Right? Because he stands up for the strength and faith of our religion. He brings new meaning to the word faith, because faith itself is what we believe in ourselves. Hanumanji encourages us to believe in ourselves. You could think of Hanumanji like a personal trainer in the gym. When you go to the gym and he have the belt for you too, they will be telling you what you need to do, what you need to believe in yourself. He tells you spiritually what to believe in yourself, how to be strong to who you are, right? And it is said that there are many different attributes to him, what he represents in society today. Like I said, the word fear doesn't exist to him. That is why when we pray to him, we are secure in our feelings as individuals today. And as we come closer to that of the Hanuman Jayanti that will be celebrated on Thursday, it's a very, very special and auspicious occasion for us to make our pratna to him. Right? Hanumanji devotees, like I said before, represents the 11th Shakti of Shankar Bhagwan. And he is also represented in that of the Panchmukhi form. If you look at our various Hanuman Murti, you Google it or look it up, and so you will see him with the 5 different forms. They represent the 5 different aspects or the 5 elements of humanity as well. Okay? So come Thursday, there are different preparations that we will make that is especially for Hanumanji. What you want to get is the Parsad is very important. Those of us that can make rote, you could look it up online with the internet, everything is good. It is appropriate that you would offer either 5 or 11 rote. The importance of that is the 5 rote could be for the Panchmukhi form, or the 11 rote could be that of the 11 Shakti of Shankar Bhagwan. Right? You're also going to offer that of the Chana. Also along with that too, you will offer that of the coconut, the ground coconut. And Hanumanji likes fruits, banana, apple and so forth like that, right? And you're going to get a red flowers to offer because Hanumanji loves red. Red means victory. So wherever he is around, you will always be victorious in what you do. Okay? And also along with that too as well, you want to get the wonder of the world, or the life of life, or the Mursa Jivan as it's called. Right? If you look back in Ramayana, it is said when Lakshman was struck in the battlefield while he was fighting that of Indrajit, and he fell to the universe, Sri Ram came and he held his brother. He had given up everything at the time. Right? And he began to cry, he began to lament, because a brother's relationship is one that is a very special relationship.
I strongly agree.
Both of us can attest to that. And while he was there crying and looking for a way to help his brother, he looked up and he couldn't see Hanumanji. And he began to ask everybody, where's Hanuman? Where's Hanuman? Where's Hanuman? Hanuman was already looking for Sushen, the physician from Lanka, to come and to assist that of Lakshman. Because this is what Hanuman Baba does for us. It is said every single time Sri Ram lost faith, or Sri Ram was despaired, or he was depressed, every single time Hanumanji came back with good news. Because in our life today, that is what he represents. When you're against the wall, when you fall down, when you think there's no hope left, and you pray to him, he will find a way. He will bring light into darkness. He will destroy the negativity, and he will always provide the positivity. We'll be right back after this commercial break.